The hits keep coming to the McBroom family. America's social media family should take some notes from America's football team on how to pay people for performing at events, since the Cowboys are winning after paying their stars, and the McBrooms are, well, not. A lawsuit was filed on Wednesday between the City of Beverly Hills and Austin McBroom. Another name appeared as a defendant, Sheeraz Hasan, and his company called Fame By Sheeraz Inc, which you'll get to learn about in a minute. This poor guy Austin can't catch a break. He recently fought in a boxing event and didn't get paid for it. Before that, he was set to make a lot of money with the Ace Club, but a mysterious developer scammed him. A couple of other business ventures fell through, and he's getting foreclosed on. Hopefully, his next venture, called Austin's Angels, will generate enough profit to keep him going. These two are facing a complaint for money damages and civil penalties for public nuisance, violation of Beverly Hills Municipal Code, and negligence. This lawsuit isn't as juicy as the others I've shared, but it's still another financial burden for Austin. For me, I view this as another hit for the fighters who didn't get paid from the Social Gloves event. I said from video 1 of this series that it's highly unlikely those fighters are getting paid because Austin's behavior was exemplary of someone who was in financial trouble. It's all unraveled since, and the lawyers are racking up billable hours. The city is informed and believes thereon alleges that in May 2021, McBroom engaged defendants Hasan and Fame By Sheeraz in order to promote the boxing match and drum up publicity before the boxing match to maximize its profitability. What's funny to me is in the Live by Live lawsuit, Austin was given a marketing game plan by Live by Live's experienced marketing director, which he didn't follow or show any interest in following. He handled the marketing himself, and it led to a lawsuit. The city is informed and believes and thereon alleges that as part of defendants' publicity strategy, defendants hatched a scheme to hold an unauthorized assembly in the form of a parade through the streets of Beverly Hills. What was not discussed in this lawsuit is that Austin and Catherine were parading through the streets of Beverly Hills, not for promotion of a fight, but to tour alleyways. This is what you call house shopping for the homeless. In order to hold a parade in Beverly Hills, an event organizer must first request a permit so all public safety concerns are addressed, and procurement of insurance providing liability coverage for the parade. None of the defendants applied for or received any permit from the city for this parade. I think this lawsuit was filed because the parade involved the Ace family. If it was a parade recognizing the importance of protecting animals during a rainstorm, I think the City of Beverly Hills would have provided a key to the city for outstanding leadership with animal rights. The city became aware of defendants' planned parade on May 27, 2021 through McBroom's social media posts. The Beverly Hills Police Department immediately knew this event would be a non-permitted parade and or unpermitted special event, as no such pre-approved special events had been scheduled or approved. This lawsuit may have come across as funny or weak, but planning a parade without the proper protocols in place creates a lot of unnecessary commotion and dysfunction in a city already known for its dysfunction. BHPD formulated a plan to ensure the safety of the public. This plan involved over 35 BHPD officers, 7 Santa Monica Police Department officers, 13 armed guards from NASTEC Security, 1 airship, 7 admin personnel, and contingencies for even more personnel to assist in the event of any mass bookings or arrests. When you're renovating a house, it may seem ridiculously annoying to have to pull permits for what feels like every little thing you do. Changing a water heater needs permits. Walling off a door frame to better insulate the house, you need to pull permits. It's all annoying until you hire the wrong person and one of your tenants faces harm from the inadequate work performed and you realize why permits exist. Same with what appears to be an innocent parade on the surface. The city believes that before, during, and after the unpermitted May 29 parade, defendants Hasan and FBS guided McBroom's strategy and execution of the unruly gathering. You'll find out in a minute who the defendant Hasan is. He will help you get famous. If you've ever wanted to be famous and caught up in the tabloids, stick around and you'll learn the secrets. Here's a post on Austin's Snapchat telling the Ace family to pull up. The Ace family wouldn't exist if he was taught how to pull out. YouTubers only, be ready to take over the streets. It's appropriate that they chose Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills for their parade, a street known for its wasteful consumption, which also accurately describes how the McBrooms get views on YouTube. Come shut it down with me and the other YouTuber fighters. Even with the crowd, he was unable to shut down the foreclosure process and the rumors about his infidelity.
Hey guys, I ran into Sheeraz. You have no idea the journeys we've been on together.
This is Sheeraz's post, who is the other defendant in this complaint. He has worked with Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton before, so he's no stranger to someone without talent relying on their family for fame. A mob of hundreds of fans began to form around the 300 block of Rodeo Drive. As crowds grew, McBroom and Hasan personally appeared and encouraged yelling, chanting, and disorder. It shouldn't be a surprise that the only form of communication from the Ace family fans is yelling and chanting, seeing as they're too young to be of a speaking age. In one video posted to social media, McBroom is heard asking Hasan which way the mob should continue after BHPD set up roadblocks and began to quell the chaos. Hasan instructs McBroom to avoid the police and continue the parade. Arch 5 Funding didn't have the proper roadblock set up with their underwriting department when they loaned the McBrooms $9 million to construct a house that would get foreclosed on a year later. During the unruly gathering, McBroom, advised by Hasan the entire time, actively encouraged his fans and those in parade to unlawfully shut down Rodeo Drive. McBroom later bragged about this unlawful act on social media. It would be impressive if they shut down a city like Chicago. All it takes to shut down Beverly Hills is a group of people eating cheeseburgers and wearing Donald Trump t-shirts. This guy behind Austin trying to get in the picture is a reminder for how ridiculous social media fame is and how it creates such a desire for so many people to be seen, even for one Snapchat. The city is informed that McBroom and Hasan left the parade nearly 2 hours after they arrived. During those 2 hours, McBroom and Hasan led the mob through the streets of Beverly Hills, including Rodeo Drive and Santa Monica Boulevard. In 2021, Austin could lead a mob through the streets promoting a boxing event. In 1980, Austin could lead the mob to his basement where they will teach him a lesson about paying fighters from a boxing event. As a result of the unruly gathering and to control the mob of fans loyal to McBroom, BHPD executed its plan to declare an unlawful gathering, barricade Rodeo Drive to traffic, and control the crowds using police officers in full riot gear. Traffic is bad enough in LA. Having to sit at a traffic stop with a bunch of unruly kids walking by my car would put me over the edge. This sentence was misleading because the officers in full riot gear weren't there to protect the public. They were there to ensure Austin's creditors didn't begin demanding money from all of the loyal fans, knowing that Austin didn't have it. After the crowd dispersed, the city was forced to clean the streets of litter and debris left behind by the unruly gathering. Austin isn't known as someone who cleans up after himself after the mess he makes. Litter is fancy wordplay from the city recognizing that Austin dressed as a cat on that day. The only thing the city couldn't clean up was Austin's consistent lying in all of his press conferences. Come on, I'm reading a lawsuit. I gotta make this entertaining somehow. It shall be unlawful and constitute a public nuisance for any person to cause or allow a loud or unruly gathering to occur at any residential unit within the city. I will admit that I'm a total hypocrite. If Austin and his fanboys did this outside of my neighborhood, I would be annoyed. But if Catherine had a parade supporting women who enjoy watching football, you know what, officer? I didn't see anything. I didn't hear a parade. No charges need to be pressed. Let's treat the lawsuit like some dirty cash and throw it under the rug. Here's the real reason for the lawsuit. Costs incurred by the city to abate the unruly gathering, including police and fire response, damage to public property, injuries to city personnel, and admin costs incurred by the city in connection with recovering those costs from the responsible party. This lawsuit may seem tame compared to Austin's other lawsuits, but there's a reason why these rules exist. Thankfully, no one got hurt or nothing happened, so the risk of doing what he did was never exposed. You don't appreciate insurance as a landlord until something dramatic happens and you need to file a claim. It's the same with an event like this parade. The lawsuit may seem excessive and ridiculous, but that's only because no innocent bystanders were hurt or damaged in any way. Even though it may seem like a low probability chance of happening, there are gatherings that lead to massive financial damages to the city or private property, and when that happens and the innocent victim needs to recoup their damages, you better hope everything was done by the book, or you deal with litigating against a guy like Austin who would have no chance of paying you back. In all three causes of action, the city is asking for $200,000. I imagine that number is pretty accurate for all of the costs associated with trying to keep Austin in Miami after the fight and not have him return to LA. I'm still waiting on James Harden to officially sue Austin. The reason for the delay is James Harden has been focused on changing his entire offensive game after the much needed rule change.
Give me the shots, give the media what they want. My name is Sheeraz Hasan. I'm the founder of Fame By Sheeraz, and I make people famous. Some of my clients, Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Jennifer Lopez.
This is the other defendant in the lawsuit. He is well known in Hollywood as being the guy who can help you get famous. If you ever wondered why Kim Kardashian got famous, it was because of a calculated approach her team in Sheeraz gave her called Get Naked on Camera.
I remember my first time when I was getting into the business, someone said to me, Sheeraz, if you want to be successful in TV, pain. Because when there's drama, there's controversy, there's viewers. When there's viewers, there's advertisers. When there's advertisers, there's cash. How do we do it? Always create drama.
Ironically enough, all of the McBroom drama leads to many people talking about them, which makes them more famous, which leads to more opportunities. I guess I'm partially guilty.
The biggest danger of fame is if you don't know how the business of fame works, then you're doing a deal with the devil. It's an addiction that takes over your life. And if you can't control that addiction, you are going to go on the dark side.
I know this is a little bit of a shift away from the McBroom lawsuit, but I just found this guy, Sheeraz, to be really interesting. A lot of my content centers around the false realities of social media and how popular influencers can manipulate your mind to think that they're successful when they're really not. This guy is out in the open about how he manipulates the media to get his clients to be famous. And another reason why I introduced Sheeraz is because he's a guru looking to teach you how to become famous in his masterclass, which has seen a reduction in price following news getting out that he was associated with Austin.
They call me the biggest fame dealer in the world. And who have I made famous? Paris Hilton, Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, Jennifer Lopez, Priyanka Chopra, Kim Kardashian, and many of the biggest social influencers in the world.
He definitely has the resume to back up his claim of being a guru for managing someone to get famous, but it's definitely a fake guru course to think that every single person could watch some digital courses and become famous.
These are 10 online courses that break down how any brand or talent can become famous. I'm here to save you time, money, and heartbreak. Now listen, we want to make people famous the right way without doing a deal with the devil.
It's ironic that he showed Kylie Jenner at the moment he said doing a deal with the devil, as if she's completely innocent of doing whatever it takes to maintain fame. If you're only famous because of the paparazzi and nothing you've personally built, you were created by others.
It's a swipe up. 500 grand here, 300 grand here, 200,000 here. That's how easy it is for people to make money now.
The money big time influencers can make is insane. It took me a few years to understand why or how some of these influencers could earn so much money from posting on their Instagram. But then you see how much product gets moved when some of these influencers make a couple of posts and think, how can I get in that business?
The real power of fame is if I tell fans to show up, they show up. If I tell fans to change your toothpaste from Colgate to Crest, now you have juice.
He was able to get a lot of people to show up to the McBroom parade. I'm still confused as to how they can generate such a large following, but they have, and they fumbled it all away with their poor decision making. Now that the family is on their way out of their mansion, Austin is swamped in lawsuits, and social media appears to have figured out that Austin and Catherine are bad news. It's going to be interesting to see if they can maintain their level of fame. Looks like they hired the right guy for the job. Hopefully he works for free, because I'm not sure they can afford his masterclass pricing, even with the discount. Thanks for watching.